It is so incredible to have you here. Thank you for being here. My goodness, it's going to be an amazing 5 days. All right. So welcome to the Calm and Creative series. My name is Kim Calvert from Dynamite Lifestyle. And my job is being a high performance mentor. I help people every single day close the gap from where they are to where they want to be. So every day, not just in these times, but every day I'm always talking about these subjects. I'm always teaching around how we can build a bigger, better model that makes life easier, makes life more fun, makes life full of love and fulfillment. So really, I suppose my job hasn't changed so much in the last kind of couple of weeks. I've just been focusing more on my clients, and now, of course, focusing more on you and how I can bring you more and bring more calmness and more creativity to your business and to your life and to everything else that's going on. So it's incredible to have you all here. I'm just looking at the comments box. People are saying loud and clear, ready for this. Good, good, good. All right, my goodness, there is so many people from right across the globe tuning in, and that's what I want. I want us to come on here every day at 12 o'clock, and let's pretend it's the news, except it's good news. It's positive news. It's looking at the good rather than focusing on what is. And that is the purpose of this entire series. I want this to be a place that you know you can come every day at 12 p.m. for 45 minutes to an hour and just plug in, tune in, and start to think on a higher level. Because I'm telling you now, that's the only way that you're going to come out of this thriving. Okay, so I want you to thrive, not just survive. That is really critical in this time that we're living in. But me personally, I think it's a very exciting time. And throughout these series, I've got different topics every day over across the 5 days. Maybe just to give you a wee bit of a sneak peek, we'll tell you what they're all about. So today is all about calmness of mind, okay? That must come first before anything else, all right? A lot of people forget that. So I want to really help you tap in and create your best self, create best new model that you can moving forward, because we all have to build it. We might as well build one with a good foundation that is going to allow us to have consistent growth, consistent happiness and security. But of course, that's from the inside. So day one today is all about calmness of mind. Okay, so how to get yourself back into that streamlined attitude of alignment and thinking. Day two, which is tomorrow, is all about change versus growth. How can we start to see the opportunities that are in front of us, and how can we start to adapt and adjust our attitude? Okay, because that is absolutely critical that we do that, so when we're moving forward with our best foot forward. Okay, day three is then reflect and rebuild. So what can we learn from previous experiences, previous failures, previous problems? And what can we learn? And what can we adjust? And what can we rebuild for the future? So I want to go through every day a little bit of teaching and then a little bit of application. How can you use this in your life, in your personal life, in your family life, in your business life? Okay. Fourth day is called your creative workshop. So I want to introduce you to the workshop of your reality. Teach you how to pick up your mental tools that craft the reality that you desire. Okay. Even now, in fact, now is a much more important time to be doing that than to sitting back and going, well, I'm just going to watch and see what happens. That is not a good idea, in my opinion. Okay. And then the fifth and final day is you create your own economy. We want to talk about money. We want to talk about how you can start to create your own economy, because that is essentially what I teach all of the time. And now it's even more important that we talk about it. You know, some people say money's not important. Well, I bet you you're not thinking that now, because money's very important. And we're going through a time where the world is changing. We have to change. And if it's us that has to change, then it's our mindset that must change first. Okay, so I'm super excited for all of these days. Now, I was trying to stream into Facebook, but I'm not sure that that has worked. Let me just see. Okay. We want to get this out to as many people as possible. So if you have, you want to tell people about this as much as you can. Okay, I want you to share this with as many people as you can so that we can absolutely get this out there to everybody, because everybody needs this and it's completely free. Okay, so thank you for everybody typing in where you were from. There's people from America, Maryland, all over. My goodness, it's incredible. So let's start with today. What are we talking about today? We're talking about calmness. We're talking about calmness of mind. Now, how do we want to start this series? Well, we want to start this series with a mindset that can take in this information, but then apply it. And right now, as we all know, and as you know, we're going through a huge shift, a huge paradigm shift on a global level. Okay, that to me is extremely exciting, because you as an individual, you get to choose what that outcome is going to be for you. Okay, you're in charge no matter the circumstance. So you get to choose what is to come. And throughout this 5-day series, what I'm really going to be sharing in just different ways and looking at it in different angles is that, sorry, some people are saying they can't hear me, but you should be able to hear me. The one thing that I'm going to be sharing throughout all these days is we become what we think about. Okay? You can't look at what is and get something different. So in this time where the world is changing, you've got to decide what is it that you want to create. Okay? Now, our mindset is number one. And I think we should call this homeschooling for adults. All right. A lot of you guys are at home this week with your friends, with your family, with people that you live with. We don't know where you are, who's around you. Maybe you've got nobody around you. Well, you've got me, which is great. But a lot of you guys are at homeschooling, and this is the homeschooling for adults. And I'll tell you why, because there was a great philosopher, an American philosopher way back, who studied the mental sciences, everything that I'm teaching here and what my mentors taught me, Bob Proctor. And he came out, Eric Hoffer came out with an incredible statement. And you know what? It's a statement that I've been sharing in seminars for the last 4 years. It's a statement that Bob has taught me over and over and over again. But my goodness, it has never made more sense than now. And that is, Eric Hoffer, he says, in time of change, it is the learners that inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. Now think about that for a wee second. This great philosopher, way back in, I think it was the 1980s, way before I was born, and it says, in time of change, it is the learners that inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. And in other pages and things that he wrote, he talked about, we have got to be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. That is how it's going to work in the 21st century. And that is never been more true. If you've grown up or you've been brought up with a belief system that you have to be smart and you have to work hard to get X, Y, Z, it is just not the truth. And I have been saying this for years, and I really, really, really believe that this is a time when people are going to wake up. People are going to realize, actually, what we're hearing and what we're reading here is completely true, because the world is going to totally change after this. And it's a great thing. There's so much opportunity. Now, I'm also not ignorant to the fact that there's probably people listening right here, right now, and the 220 odd people that are here. There's probably people on here that have got hurt by this, that have lost loved ones, that have lost money, that have lost businesses. I'm not saying that you're not in pain and you're not hurting. But you know what, guys? It is what it is. And that sounds tough and that sounds rough, but it is what it is. And what my job is to help you, no matter where you're at, no matter who's here, no matter what you're going through, we are all in it together. Because the beautiful thing, and I think the most beautiful thing about what's going on at the moment is is that it is bringing us all together. For me, it's like a blank slate. It brings everybody back to remembering we are all one. We are all the same. Because I think I read yesterday, Warren Buffett has already lost about 10 billion. I think there's been 57 billion lost by top end entrepreneurs. And then there's the guy in the local high street who has also lost. So everybody is going through this. The rich are affected, the poor are affected, the black are affected, the white are affected. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are in this world, we're all being affected. So what I want you, as a person that's listening to this material and working with me, I want to help you emerge out of this as the person that decided that they wanted to see this for themselves. Because I honestly, truly, 100% believe that this is going to be a real make or break situation. This is going to allow us, even if you're in the worst possible place and scenario, and you think everything is lost, I can promise you now it's not, unless you think it is. Napoleon Hill writes in the Science, or in the Think and Grow Rich, talking about man's or women's crisis is at their pivotal point when things are about to change. When we're in a crisis, that's when we've got to be persistent. That's when we've got to be calm. That's when we've got to listen to what our true inner being and guidance system is telling us. Now, you cannot listen to your emotional indicators if your emotions are all kind of way up here right now. Okay, so that's why calmness of mind is the most important thing that we're going to talk about today, because you cannot do anything. You can't teach the kids what they need to learn if you're not in a calm and orderly state. You can't think about what is the next best move to make in your business unless you're in a calm and orderly state. You can't look after your physical health if you are not in a calm and orderly state. Relationships, helping loved ones, helping maybe your mom or your dad or your grand or your granny, you can't be the best version of you unless you work on you. And unless you're the best version of you, they're not really getting the best of you. So if you're maybe thinking to yourself, Kim, don't even worry about me. I just want to help my mom and dad. I want to help my kids and I want to help my partner. And if that's you, then please listen to me and understand you've got to focus on you. Okay? You're the most important person. All right? Once you get centered and aligned, everything else will take care of itself. All right? So in times of change, it is the learners that inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. So you want to be the person that understands you've got to start thinking differently if you're going to create something different. Okay? You might be feeling overwhelmed right now. I don't know what to do. I can't turn my business online. Maybe you sell, I don't know, fruit and veg at the local shop. But ask yourself, is there maybe something totally else different that you could be doing? How many times maybe have you been listening to me, or maybe you've never heard of me, and that's okay, but maybe you've been sitting at some point in the last few months, the last few years saying, do you know what? I don't like my job. Do you know what? There's something different for me. If you've been saying that, now is your chance. Now is your opportunity. And I want to make something really, really, really clear. There are going to be two groups, in my opinion, and all the science and research shows it. There are going to be two people that emerge out of this on the other side. The person that is willing to unlearn and relearn and change and adapt and build and create, that person is going to thrive. Okay? Then there's another camp of people, and they're the people that are very susceptible to outside circumstances and conditions. Very not thinking and afraid and fearful and logical. And that camp will be very inclined to say, oh, let's put the brakes on. Let's just retreat back. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to invest in anything. I'm not going to do anything. And I'm just going to wait till this passes and see how we get on. At that camp, I mean, you're still going to be here, but you're only going to maybe survive instead of thrive. Because as Eric Hoffer was saying here, is if you don't learn to change and adapt and build a new model, well, the models that you've been using are now obsolete. So you don't really, in my opinion, nobody really has a choice anymore. We've got to change our habits with our health. We've got to change our habits with our work life routine. We've got to change our habits with our kids. Everything is going to change after this. But as I say, I think it's a wonderful thing. And what we've got to focus on is the good. Okay. So the three things I really want you to take away from this entire series is that we are all one. Okay. We're all the same when you reduce it all down to everything. Okay. We're even the famous and the rich are in their living rooms right now, just like you. Okay. So we're all, when it comes to it all, we are all the same. We're all equal. Doesn't matter what's in your bank account. Doesn't matter what exams you've had. Nobody is getting away from this. Okay. So that should really empower you. That should really make you get rid of this preconception that it's only those people that get success. It's only those people that do well. No, everybody can do this. Everybody has now a chance to step up and step in. And that is what excites me. I've been excited all week working with my clients, watching them evolve and adapt and move their businesses online and change different things and, create new models of how they can serve their clients more. And my clients every week have just been winning. People have been, I have one client who earned 200,000 this month. Okay. Why? Because they think differently. Another guy, his business went up by 10,000 this month. Another person, 30,000. You see, we're only focusing, and the news, unfortunately, only focuses on the bad. Okay? Nothing is actually really good or bad except your thinking makes it so. It's the lens that we look through. Okay? So I personally don't watch the news. Now, I'm also not saying that we just go, oh, there's nothing going on in the world right now. La, la, la. I'm just going to pretend. That is not what I'm saying. You must take precautions. You must listen to the guidelines we've been giving, and you must stay home, okay? But what I'm saying is, are you staying at home watching the news and kind of going, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? What's next? And living in almost this perpetual state of anxiety? Or are you sitting at home teaching your kids and reading stories and making a beautiful lunch and, maybe doing stuff around the house? Because we're all at home, but we're all at home doing something completely different. So it's the energy in which we do the things. Now, if you're in my Thinking into Results mentorship program where I coach and mentor people for 6 months, you will hear me say that all the time. It's got nothing to do with strategy. It's got to do with your mindset. 95% mindset, 5% strategy. And that is where you can actually use this situation right now to soar. You can actually get ahead of the masses, but only if you don't listen to the chatter of the masses. Okay? That is critical. You want to stay connected to know what you need to do. So I flicked on the news about once every 2 days just to get like 10 minutes of okay, we're not allowed to do that now. Okay, great. I'll apply that. But then I switch it off. And my goodness, there was one day I forgot to switch it off and there was something on and it was horrific. I wouldn't even repeat it. And that is where we, as a group of individuals, we can really make a difference by spreading good news, by spreading the news that actually we can overcome this. We will overcome this. This has happened before and we've dealt with it. And you know what is a beautiful thing to always remember? You will never be faced something that you can't manage. We as a human race have the absolute ability as conscious creators to create anything that we want. And if we do that in harmony with everyone else, that energy is compounded. I always say, if everybody would just sit at home tonight and meditate or give positive energy to wellness and health, this whole thing would be wrapped up much quicker. But what we're seeing is things are growing. Why? Because people are thinking about it more. That's how every world leader has been calling it the invisible enemy. And that's exactly it. But it's not the virus, it's what creates the virus, which is negative energy. Okay? So for you, the first step in being calm is starting to understand, well, what is it that affects me? What is it that I have to stay calm? It's your mind. Okay? And your mind is energy. And energy is flowing into your mind every second of every day. And dependent on the lens that you look through, it's like a little magnet. We call it a paradigm. And your paradigm will suck up things that are in harmony, that make sense to it. Okay? So if you are programmed with a more negative lens, shall we say, and you're more anxious and you're more worried about money, and I don't blame you for that. Okay, I'm not saying you're this bad person. I'm saying I get you, I hear you, but that's actually not serving you. Because if that's the energy that you're putting out with your thoughts, that's the energy that you're going to get. I was talking to somebody just the other day, and they were talking about, how awful this is, and how we need to, pray for health and pray for this virus to go away. And I said, well, yeah, I think you're right, but I think it's about how we do it, because it's not the things we do, it's how we do things. And I don't think anybody should be praying for this to go away. Now, that's a big statement, but let me explain why. If you are praying or writing out abundance or asking the universe for this virus to go away, what you're doing is giving emotional energy. And let's be honest, it's negative. We're putting negative energy out, and we're putting it on this wee subject over here, which is called virus. Now, anything, in Emerson, who was a phenomenal guy back in the day who taught about the universal laws, he says energy expands wherever we give it attention. So if I think about lack, debt, worry, I'm going to attract things that are in harmony with lack, doubt, and worry. If we give negative energy towards this thing that's going on at the moment, we're giving energy with real intensity towards a subject that we don't want. That's not going to help it. That's growing it. And we can see evidence of that on the news if you look at the stats, because now it's all anybody's thinking about. And that's actually making it worse. Now, you may agree or you may not agree. And you know what? It doesn't matter, because we're all entitled to our own beliefs. We all look through a different lens. We all have our own perspective. Now, what I think we should be praying for or asking for is, firstly, wellness, health. Give thanks for your health. Because do you know what? There's so many people praying for this to go away, and they haven't been grateful for the health that they already have. If we would focus on health and give thanks and gratitude for our health, that would be positive energy going out around health. Now, what do you think that's going to attract? It's going to attract more health, more positive energy. So it's not that you're doing anything wrong. You just might want to tweak that slightly. Don't give energy to the thing that you don't want, because you're just asking for it. Okay? So calmness of mind is the first state if you're in a reactionary state. So ask yourself today, right now, are you in a reactive state or are you responding? Okay. When we react, we give our power away. Now, I don't know about you, but if you like to be in control and you like to know how things are going to happen, then you're not the type of person that wants to give their power away, because you lose control. If we respond, we maintain in charge of us. And if we can stay in charge of us, then our environment, our internal environment, is protected. Now, If we react and we go out and we buy all the toilet rolls in the whole world, that's reacting. Okay. Now, do I think we need toilet roll? Yeah. But you don't need to buy it all. Okay. So you can see on the news, you can see it on, I'm sure you're getting lots of videos through on your phone of just madness. And there's even worse things happening. And that is people reacting. Now, we've got to ask, why do some people react? Why some people respond? All down to mindset, all down to how you're programmed to think. Okay. And we all know people that react and just kind of go, wah! Okay. And then we know other people who are just like, right, okay, this has happened. What are we going to do? Now, it doesn't change the fact that something's happened. And I'm not sitting here being ignorant or naive to say that something isn't going on. Something is going on, but I'm not fearful. I'm not sitting in my house losing sleep. I'm not going down this slippery slope. And you know what that means? It means I'm actually protecting my health and my body, because the mind is the body. And nothing can be created in the body if it wasn't created in the mind first. So this is why now is such a critical time to switch things like this on rather than the news. Because whether you believe it or not, you are being programmed. Okay? That's not some, airy furry, weird voodoo kind of stuff. It's just truth. Okay. And if you've been listening to me maybe for a long time, or maybe been listening to Bob Proctor, we know that we have paradigms. And this is a paradigm. Now, I always say there are two ways to change a paradigm: emotional impact and repetition. Well, let's have a wee look at it. This is an emotional impact. People losing their business, people getting sick, people dying. This is a huge global paradigm shift. Okay, that's the emotional impact. And then the repetition is the news, is people, is whatever going in and going in and going in and going, telling us all this other stuff. So why I find it so important to be on here sharing, even though, there's only 240 people on this out of the whole world, I still know that I need to show up and I need to tell you, just be very careful right now, because anytime there's an emotional impact and there's repetition of new ideas, your conditioning system is being changed. Now, I'm a big believer that that should be your choice and nobody else's. It shouldn't be your family's choice. It shouldn't be mom and dad's choice. It shouldn't be your partner's choice. It shouldn't be your husband's choice or your wife's. It's your choice. Do you know why? Because it's your life. And if you want to be free, then you've got to understand this. And I say that in every seminar and talk that I give. If I want to be free, then I've got to be me. Not the me you think I should be. Not the me that the government or politics or mom or dad or husband or wife tell me to be. If I want to be free, then I got to be me. And I better know who me is. So do you know who you are? Do you understand your mind? Because now, right now, as all of this is going on, you want to make the conscious, deliberate decision that you're only going to look on the good, because there's so much good in this. Here's a wee quote that maybe you want to write down. It is what it is. Harvest the good, forgive the rest. That is the key here. It is what it is. Okay, it's already happened. We cannot, unfortunately, go back in time and change it. So it is what it is. All right. Don't see it as negative or positive. Just it is what it is. Harvest the good means, what's the lesson here? What's the good? What? Because do you know what? Everyone's saying this is a huge crisis, and it is. But what I'm going to be teaching you tomorrow is that if it's a huge crisis, then it's also a huge win. Because anything in life, every subject has two subjects. Just like I'm in the inside of this room, there's an outside to the room. Okay? There's off, there's on, there's in, there's out, there's yin, there's yang. And this is called the law of polarity. So right now, whilst there are businesses crumbling, there are businesses booming. Whilst there are people away from their family, there are people getting closer to their neighbors. Whilst there are times where you think you're not giving enough time to your kids, now you get to sit with them every day and actually interact and learn with them. There is so much good that's going on right now. The dolphins coming back into Vienna. Pollution has started to completely radically change. If you look that up, you'll see they showed pictures of the atmosphere starting to clear. This is the universe going, do you know what, humankind, just you pause a wee second. I've been trying to tell you in lots of different ways that something has to change and you're not listening. So I'm just going to put you all into your houses just so you can chill out. Because that is what the world needs right now. The world is starting to look after itself. It's starting to do it for us because we are ignorant, unfortunately. There was bushfires, there's wars, there's been flus before. There's all this stuff is a cycle, okay? And you can see it in your own life. How many times have you had the universe throw you a problem or a situation to teach you a lesson and you didn't find the lesson, you ignored it, you thought maybe you knew better, and bang, it comes up again. That is life. So the only option, in my opinion, is to see the good, is to focus on the good. That's the only thing that you should be doing. Because, and you might say to me, Kim, well, hold on a minute, this isn't real. I can't just not look at what has happened. I can't not deal with staff. I can't not deal with not knowing how I'm going to put food on the table. I hear you, but I'm not going into pity land or victim mode because it doesn't serve you. What you've got to go is, do you know what? This is broken, this has failed, this has happened, I've no money, whatever your situation may be, and go, right, it is what it is. But I can't afford to go there and get emotionally involved in that because that brings my energy down, which means I attract more of what I don't want. That's what we're going to really work for as we go through this week. I really want you to understand this because I'm telling you now is the time to start thinking into your results. Now is the time to start implementing things that you maybe never wanted to before. Okay? Now, as I say, calmness of mind was our main topic, and I want to read a little article for you. And now, this is from a book called As a Man Thinketh, and it is by James Allen. He was a phenomenal writer a way back, kind of near Shakespeare's time, I think. And Bob really loves this. If you don't know Bob Proctor, you want to know him. He's my personal mentor. I'm his #1 in the world. Boom. I was just talking to him last night. He's doing well. He's in his study, working away as normal. And he really goes on and on and on about serenity. And serenity is the key here, guys, because more than I can imagine, most of you do need to build new models. Okay? You have to create something. Okay, whether it's creating something from scratch, whether it's creating a new model for a current business, we'll talk about that in the days that go on. But you cannot do that until your mind is calm. And I know you hear me say that, but I really need you to listen, not to hear, but listen to understand. Because this is the main point that most people miss out. When something like this happens and we're in a reactionary state, we're like, right, let's sort this, and let's do that, and you're at home panicking, you're like, right, what can I do? And you're not actually thinking, okay? So before you start to think about how you can create greatness out of this, you must center and align and get order in your mind first, okay? Order is heaven's first law. When you've got ordered mentality, you can move forward with speed. If you feel very emotional and ideas are coming in and ideas are going out and you don't know where to start, then you don't have order, okay? When you don't have order, that causes panic, anxiety, fear, not great outcomes, okay? So if that's how you feel right now, then you know, right, I'm in that camp and I need to become calm before I can go there. All right, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. You must calm the mind before you go there. So let me read this little article and then we'll chat about it, and then I'll give you some simple tips that you can take away today and start to practice, okay? Now, I'm also going to give you this article, so I have it all printed out. In fact, let me just bring it onto the screen if I can. Well, no, I'll not bring it on the screen. I'll just read it for you. I'm going to send this to each and every one of you so that you can read it. I'm also going to give you a recorded version of Bob reading this out. So would anybody like that? Type into the chat box if this is something that you would like. Bob Proctor reading Serenity so that you can listen to every single day and night. Yes. Okay. People are loving it. Awesome. Okay. So let me read this. My goodness, there's so many people on. This is awesome. Okay, so let me go ahead and read this, and then I'll break it down a little bit. I mean, I could teach on this all day long. My clients will tell you this. I love getting on and teaching. So let me read the first couple of lines. It says, calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort in self-control. Its presence is an indication of ripened experience of a more than ordinary knowledge of the laws and operations of thought. Okay? Now, I want you to really understand that. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. If you want to thrive in this time and you want to create your own economy and you want to emerge out of this and start to sit in the 3 or 1% category, you've got to understand that wisdom has got nothing to do with knowledge, okay? Knowledge is only a part of the equation. Its application of knowledge gives you the outcome that you want, okay? But you can't apply anything unless you've created an environment, aka your mind created calmness and order to create it, okay? And it says that it is a long and patient effort in self-control. So this isn't something that you can just, it takes time. It's a conditioning yourself. Just like, people didn't just react out of blue, out of character. The people that reacted are probably the people that always react when something happens. It's your conditioning, okay? I'm the sort of person that kind of just always, even before I started studying this material, I've always sat back and addressed the situation. When I was in mental health nursing, I worked in adolescent psychiatry in the acute centre. I was the manager of the regional adolescent centre in Northern Ireland. And when things kicked off, I was always the one to kind of go, okay, what are we going to do here? Let's think. Not react, but think first. And that's what you want to be doing. It says that this is long and patient effort and self-control. Its presence is an indication of ripened experience and a more than ordinary knowledge of the laws and operation of thought. Well, you got to ask yourself, do you understand the laws and the operations of thought? You may, if you're one of my clients, then you definitely do. If you're brand new and you've never followed me before or anything else, then please know that your thoughts, your thinking, there's a science to all of that. And when you start to understand that what we think is what we create, and there's laws, universal laws that govern what you attract into your life and what you don't, then my goodness, that's when the world changes for you. Massively. I mean, totally shifts when you start to understand that. It says a man becomes calm in the measure that he understands himself as a thought evolved being. For such knowledge necessitates the understanding of others as a result of thought. And as he develops a right understanding and sees more and more clearly the internal relations of things by the action of cause and effect, he ceases to fuse and fume and worry and grieve and remains poised, steadfast, and serene. So if you want to be the person that out of all of this is strong for your family, is centered, is helping your kids, is helping your community, and you want to be very serene, poised, and steadfast, you want to be the rock, if you want to be the cornerstone for people to know that's the person I want to go to, then you've got to have calmness of mind. And what James Allen is saying is the only way that that can happen is that you understand your mind and that you understand the workings of the universal laws that are all around us. So do you understand that? Are you practicing that? It goes on to say, and I'm just going to read a few chapters, it says, the calm man, having learned how to govern himself, knows how to adapt himself to others. And they, in turn, reverence his spiritual strength, and feel they can learn of him and rely upon him. The more tranquil a man becomes, the greater his success, his influence, his power for good. Even the ordinary trader will find his business prosperity increase as he develops a greater self-control and equanimity. For people will always prefer to deal with a man whose demeanor is strong and equable. Now, if you're in business, this is absolutely paramount that you're listening to this, because everybody always wants somebody to lean on. Somebody, whether it's to lean on, maybe it's somebody that they inspire, maybe it's somebody who's a leader. I truly believe, as I said earlier, we're all one. So you've got to be the leader for your family. You've got to be the leader for yourself. You've got to be the leader for your clients. All this week I've been working on, how can I serve more? How can I be a bigger expansion and expression of myself? I haven't been thinking about me per se, because I know I'll always be taken care of if I help others. If I help others develop prosperity and abundance in their life, I will always have abundance and prosperity in my life. And this is where I think this is going to be the beautiful thing out of all of this, is it's teaching us as a nation to give more, to be more, and then you will always have more. Whereas we've lived in a world for far too long that it's about getting. I must get this. I must have this. I must beat this person to this. And that sort of mentality is hard work, frustrating, takes a lot of energy, and doesn't even get you the results that you want. And it certainly does not make you happy. Like, I help people multiply their income and their business, but I never really talk about strategies or business or money. I talk about you. I talk about how you can be a better version of yourself, because that is what creates the abundance. So calmness of mind is the key here. A strong and calm man is always loved and revered. He is like a shade-giving tree in a thirsty land, or a sheltered rock in a storm. Who does not love a tranquil heart and a sweet-tempered, balanced life? Everybody does. Now, how can you adopt that for you, for the people around you right now? Well, it's very simple. You work on you first. Now, for me, when it comes to calmness of mind, it means shutting out all distractions, okay? It means not listening to the external outside world for just maybe 10 minutes twice a day, okay? That's what you've got to practice. Meditation. Now, you might be saying, Kim, I don't know anything about meditation. I've never done it. Then that's cool. Don't worry. Just sit your bum on a seat, switch the news off, put some music on, maybe some soft classical music, or just, you can look up YouTube. I would highly recommend Bob's meditation, 21-day meditation for abundance on YouTube. Listen to that, or just listen to soft music. You want to just decide, command yourself, I'm going to do this every day, twice a day for the next 30 days. That will instantly create more room in your mind to think about how you're going to deal with situations, because you're going to have to deal with them, but it's that work first before you do that work. Think of it like this. Think of your mind as a filing cabinet, and last month before, you're going in and out of this filing cabinet, taking all the files out, putting them back in because you're so busy and nobody's got enough time in their hands these days. The files are just thrown back into the cabinet. It's a mess, right? Now, if that's a mess, how are you going to start to find all the great strategies of what you do in a time of crisis? You're not. Your mind's just going to be like, oh my goodness, there's so much to do. There's so much to think about. I really just want to hide in bed. You probably have felt like that. So you can't do it when your filing cabinet's messy. So what's the bright idea? Clean the filing cabinet up. How do we do that? Well, we allow our mind to settle. You sit down and you just forget about everything. And when you do that, your body, your internal system will do the rest for you. It's like blood pressure. If you're running about and you sit down, it will start to come back into harmonious vibration of where you normally sit. And everybody is different. My blood pressure might be different to your blood pressure. My heartbeat will be different to your heartbeat. My metabolic rate will be different to your metabolic rate. Will you have a set point for how much money you earn? You have a set point for how calm that you are. You have a set point for everything. So if you're feeling like everything's and you don't know how to teach the kids, and you can't even remember how to do sums, and now you don't want the kids to know that you didn't really do your work either at school, that would be my biggest dilemma. My goodness, if I had kids right now and I had to teach them, they would be snookered because I hated school. But what I've learned is I didn't even need to be that smart in the first place. I would suggest that you teach your kids, yeah, do the curriculum of what the teachers have sent out, but maybe get them to listen to this. Get them to think about their mind, get them to think about their goals, get them to think about something other than what's going on. I mean, can you remember when you were a kid and something was going on? Probably not. So don't make it a big deal, and it won't be a big deal at home, okay? Now I went off on a tangent. I do that quite a lot. Was there anything else in this? As I say, I'm going to send you this because it's just so incredible on how even if you just read this every day, read that to your kids before they go to sleep. They won't understand a word of it, but it still goes in because the subconscious mind is always listening, always. Okay. And the last thing I want to leave you with is gratitude. Now, I don't have time to go through the whole gratitude module. I'm actually creating something for you, so keep your eyes peeled. I will have something very exciting coming out for you all as soon as I can get it made, hopefully by the end of this week. But gratitude is what you want to do as well as your meditation, okay? So when I say meditate, I'm going to give you a recording. I'm going to give you the recording of Bob reading out Calmness of Mind. I'm going to give you that article. What else did I say I was going to give you? No, they're the two things I'm going to give you. And then I think you should listen to Bob on YouTube, the abundance meditation. But the other tool that I want to leave you with today is gratitude. Okay, if you guys were at Inception, or anyone that was at Inception, they will have got their own Dynamite Lifestyle gratitude pad. Okay, who's got one of these? I hope that it is filled out. Right, so if you've never heard of gratitude, wow, you've a lot to read about, but I will teach you it over this next kind of couple of weeks or week. Gratitude is your biggest, what would I call it? It's your biggest tool right now, because gratitude allows you to give thanks for what you have, which puts you into what we call a great energy or a vibration, and allows you then to attract more greatness into your life. Okay, if you're struggling to keep your mind from the outside, okay, because really what you want to do is keep the outside to the outside, and you just focus on the inside, your internal thinking. You choose your thoughts. Nobody else chooses your thoughts but you. And you've got a tool, which is one of your higher mental faculties, that is the ability to choose thoughts. Now, if you're struggling to know how to choose thoughts, then you need to come and work with us, because I can teach you that with ease, okay? But right now, gratitude is going to be your savior. So I think you need to get up in the morning and you need to be still. You need to sit down for 10 minutes. Do not switch on the news. Do not look at your mobile phone. Do not talk to anybody unless they're talking about something, like coffee or something. Plug in your earphones and sit for 10 minutes before you start your day. And I want you to set intentions. What is today going to be like? Because a lot of you are going into this week. Like, how many of you this weekend thought, oh my goodness, this week is going to be terrible, and how am I going to do this, and how am I going to do that, and I have no time, and I'm tired, and I don't know, and my goodness, what's coming out of our mouth is not working, okay? It's not serving you. So decide every day this week to do 2 things every morning, and I'm going to be checking back in with you when we get to the last day. I want you to get up. I want you to put your earphones in. I just want you to listen to soft music. I listen to birds. Okay, I'm like probably the biggest fan on YouTube for birds. They're actually called videos for cats, but I love them because I didn't live in a house like I do now, where I had birds and nature. So I used to listen to that. Now I listen to beautiful soft music and I hear the birds outside. But that allows you to just go, relax. Choose thoughts that you want to think. Decide how today is going to be. Make a decision. Today is going to be a really good day. Today is going to be easy. Today is going to be fun. Today I'm going to find new ways of making this easier. And you know what? Today I have a lot on, but I'm just going to do the best that I can do every day and every second, because I can only ever do one thing at a time. So I'm going to do my best at each thing. And whatever I get done, I get done. And anything I don't get done, I'm going to do tomorrow. There's no rush or panic unless you make one. Even for you people who are watching this who are in business, or you're maybe frantically trying to get things out this week, don't do it in a frantic state. Because if you're building content to go out to customers or to go out on social media and you're doing it with a frantic energy, that energy goes into your content. Okay? Energy moves. All right? You got to realize that. Energy is forever moving. It's moving into form, through form, back out of form, back into form. So if you write a piece of content or you're trying to help your customers and you're doing it with a frantic energy, you're giving that frantic energy over to them. They will subliminally pick that up. Okay? And that's not going to help your business, and it's not going to help you, and it's certainly not going to help the person. Your number one focus right now should be service. How can I give more? Gratitude and meditation first thing in the morning is going to align you. Now, this is only little tips and tools, okay? Really, you need to get to the real root cause of results, okay? And if you have decided today, do you know what? I would love to have you mentor me for every week for, 6 months, then reach out, chat to us, contact me. I'd love to get on a call and chat it over. But right now, if there's nothing else you do, get yourself a gratitude log. I've got one, okay? Dynamite Lifestyle 2020. This is my gratitude book. I write in it every single day what I'm grateful for, all the greatness that I'm expecting. There's no right or wrong in doing it. Your job is just do it, okay? So your challenge today and for this week, if you don't do it already, is to get up, is to find a beautiful spot in your house. Like even make your environment nice. Get flowers. Maybe you can't go out to shops now, but clean. Put a wee bit of candles on, nice smell. Get up before everybody else and just enjoy the bliss. Just those still moments are so precious. And even if you just tap into that for a couple of minutes, it will totally, radically change the energy that you're giving out. And whilst you can't see that, and maybe this is the first time you're hearing it and you don't fully understand it, just trust me, okay? Borrow my belief in you just for this moment in time. Because if you can just do what I'm telling you to do this week, you'll start to understand why it works, okay? So do that first and foremost. Then get yourself a notebook, or if you've been to Inception, use this one. And every single day, I want you to write, today, I am so happy and grateful now that, and list things that you're grateful for. And then even maybe write about how today is going to be a wonderful day. I'm so excited to teach the kids. I'm so excited and so grateful that I get this time. I'm so grateful that I get to spend more time with my friends and family. I'm so grateful for my health. I'm so grateful for the health of all my family and for everyone in the world. I'm so grateful for this time of change because I know there's opportunities waiting on me. I'm open and ready to receive and act on anything that comes into my mind with calmness. That's how you want to be writing. And if you just start to journal like that, 5 minutes of journaling, 5 minutes of quieting your mind, there's 10 minutes that you've got to make time for. Don't say you haven't got time. Don't say that you're too busy, because you'll make the biggest mistake that you could ever make. Because when it gets to the end of it, you'll be sorry that you said you were too busy. Don't be too busy for life. Okay, now is the time to be getting your mind switched on, tuned in, tapped in, and flicked on. Don't think, oh, I'm too busy with strategies. It's 95% mindset, 5% strategy. So just for this week, forget about that for a second and focus on just this 10-minute work every day. Okay, so is everybody committed to doing gratitude? Is everybody committed to listening and meditating for 10 to 15 minutes? Yes, good, awesome. Awesome. Somebody saying, thank you, Kim. I'm a student of Bob for 4 years and apply gratitude every day. But today you've expanded my awareness and experience. Awesome. Good. Well, I'm glad that this has helped you. This is only our first episode, which is brilliant. So I want you guys type into the chat box, what's the biggest thing you've taken away from this morning's session? In this 1 hour that we've now completed, what has been the biggest thing? Calm mind. Good. Always be committed to meditation and gratitude. Yeah. Somebody already feels calmer. This is good. How to apply and only focus on health and healing. Yeah. Now, just on that, if you're focusing on health and healing, my first question to you, I think that's Kathleen, would be, are you sick? And if you are, then that's perfect. Focus on health and healing. If you're not sick, then why would you focus on healing? Okay, so just think about that. This is where a lot of people are just not getting it perfect. We wouldn't, how would you explain it? You wouldn't give thanks for healing unless you were sick. So when we give thanks for that, what the universe goes is, oh, they must be sick. It makes you think of sickness. So I think everyone should just be grateful for health, even if you're sick or not. Just be grateful for what you want. Only ever talk about what you want to see in your life. That is the key. That is the biggest thing that I teach my clients. And that's why we get such good results, because even those little changes in our words are huge, because everything that you speak has a vibration. Just before we end today, I want everybody to put their hand on their chest. And all I want you to say is, I am. Now, as you put your hand on your chest and you say, I am, what do you feel? Well, you should feel a vibration. You can feel the vibration of your voice. Anytime you say, I am, it's the most two powerful words in the universe. I am healthy. That's what you want to be stating. I am strong. I am fit. I am abundant. I am prosperity. Every word that comes out of your mouth, guys, is a vibration, and that's energy. And that energy is being emitted from you. It's changing form, and then it's bringing stuff back to you in alignment with that energy. So take that away with you today. I hope that we have brought you some calmness so that you can start to be creative over the next few days. And I want you all to share this. I want you to get the link for the 5-day series, share it to anybody and everybody you know, so that we have people in here learning and getting the best of this. I mean, this is totally free. I just want you to understand and apply so you could win on the other side of this. I'm so excited for you all. If you have any questions, put them into the Dynamite Effect page. We'll be in and out of there as we go through this week. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I can't wait to hear what you've taken away, what you've applied, and what you have attracted into your life. This is a great time of growth. So just focus on that, focus on you, apply the meditation, apply the gratitude this week, and tomorrow I'll be bringing you lots more. All right, have an absolutely wonderful afternoon for everybody. I'm so grateful for you all tuning in from all over the world. This is going to be incredible. So as I say, please get on your phones now, share this with anybody and everybody that you know, and then we'll be back tomorrow. All right, have a wonderful afternoon. It has been wonderful. See you all.